as well, and one more to show everyone.
Sorry about that.
I don't want to step on your
How nice they are. See, it is a nice group of nice people, despite what mainstream media is going to tell you about us. All right. So what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Dieter, and I come from Marietta, Georgia. I run a Discord group. We're a bunch of Q followers and devout Trump supporters. We try to keep up on current news. We take things off of the chan. We try to drill them down, and we try to find out where our country's headed and the things that are good for us and the things that maybe are not so good for us that we hope to have exposed.
Okay, you have to know how many questions there are about Q in general. Who is Q?
Well, Q...
Any theory on that?
Yeah, we have our own theory. We don't know who Q is, and we'd rather keep it that way. We don't believe in doxing Q. We would rather he stay private. What we do know is that Q is definitely somebody who is part of Trump's group. Supposedly there's less than 10 who know of who Q is. 3 of them are non-military and the rest are. Our belief is that it's somebody who's in military intelligence. And what Q does is Q uses a forum called 8chan, which is like a message board. And on that message board, Q will give us, he'll give us, I guess you'd call it tips or some information on the things that are going on. And then we as a Discord group, what we do is we drill it down to come to answers so that we can share it with people that we call normies. The people that are not as much, the people who aren't as much into...
I can't figure out how to use Q.
We do. And I'm a hardcore Chan follower along with the rest of my group. And what we do is we take the pieces of information that Q gives us and we try to decipher that information so that we can spread it out with the regular public and get them aware. We call it red pilling. Red pilling is sort of like a term that comes from the Matrix. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. So you have your choice. You can take the blue Democratic pill and stay in the dark, be misled by bad news, unlike Right Side Broadcasting, who gives us good news. So basically, it's like the red pill. So what we try to do is gather the information as we can, spread it amongst our friends, and encourage them to go out and red pill people and teach them the difference between right and wrong. This is not a battle between Republicans and Democrats. This is a battle between good and bad, godly and evil. There's a lot of evil forces that are underlying in the government, and we're trying to expose that to the best of our abilities.
What would you say right now is a hot topic when it comes to Q? Is there any information that you think the normies need to know? And we know that, I know from what I know about Q is that you basically get kind of breaking news before it's released to the general public, or even before a news station gets it. You're able to get kind of top secret information from within the government. So have you noticed anything recently, or what is the most important thing you've ever seen?
Well, most recently we had 23 days of absence of Q. And that 20...
I haven't heard much recently.
Right. His last post was on October 9th, and then he went dark for 23 days. There was a time back in May when Q actually divulged his password, and his password was -23, and then, I'm trying to remember the exact quote because I'm nervous now, but so Q divulged his password, but basically the 23 days of darkness or his absence occurred between October 9th and November 2nd, and that's when Q came back on the scene. And basically, with that statement, or with that release of that password, and with that 23 days of absence, it's our belief that now is when the information is really going to start to come out. When we have this red tsunami that all of these people here are for, this giant red tsunami, once all of this happens, now we've got Judge Qanon in place, which was a big, big deal. Now we're going to have a big tsunami, red tsunami election. We will be run by a Republican Congress, Senate, a good... Governor for Georgia, right? Let's go, Kemp. So when all of that happens, then we believe that some of the real information will start to come out and we become publicly known. So basically, Q was kind of telling us that those 23 days of absence was going to be the beginning of the reveal of all. So with this red tsunami and with Trump going into France on November 11th, which is Armistice Day, I don't know if a lot of people know or not, but he's going to be meeting with the president of China, Xi Jinping. He's also going to be meeting with Putin. And we believe that that's going to be a big signification to the changing of the guard and new times to come that'll be for the good of the world, not just of America.
Amen to that. I know President Trump has talked about President Xi in the past week. Yeah, he mentioned that he did have a phone call with him last week and relations are good. He did not mention going to Paris, but that doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, what was supposed to happen is we were supposed to have a great big parade here in America on the 11th. And it was going to be like a military celebration parade, right?
I didn't want that.
Well, you know, they said that the cost got overinflated by a certain particular number, and that was a message to the cabal. And basically, you know, they put the parade off for better times, and he's going to attend this armistice event in France on the 11th. And like I said, we just got word that he's going to be meeting with Putin there. And if you put Putin and Jinping and Trump together, that's the three world's powers. And I think that's going to be a time of big change. Oh, absolutely. I'm sure we all would. I'm sure we all would.
Well, hopefully Right Side will be able to get a video footage of that and be able to stream it. We'll see about that, and we'll have to start working on it ASAP.
We all pay very close attention to Right Side. We all watch the rallies as a group on our Discord, and we watch you guys from the minute you start broadcasting and start interviewing regular people like myself, and we enjoy every minute of it, and we all donate. We thank you so much for the work you do.
Thank you. What was your name again?
My name is Dieter, and I live in Marietta, Georgia. I go by Searcher throughout the internet, like on Twitter, my Discord forums. I go by Searcher, but my real name is Dieter Finke.
I know. Last question: How many of people like you are on this Discord forum?
On my particular Discord, we have 200 members. I've been a member of another Discord where the Patriot Soapbox originated. For those that are familiar with Patriot Soapbox, I used to be on that program way back in January and February, and then that kind of grew. I backed off, and then they split off of our Discord, and we carried on. And then here a couple of months back, we split off and created our own Discord.
Awesome. Well, we love both of those groups. They've been very helpful to Right Side Broadcasting. So thank you, Dieter. Any last shout-outs that you want to give?
Make America great again, 2020.
Perfect. Well said. Thank you for your interview. We'll be back in a little bit. Would anyone else like to give shout-outs?